get everyone together on bulk and chase these jerks out of Kabul. It's just unfortunate that we are fighting aggressively into mountains as often as we are. Give it one more tick, we should have all the units we need. We'll chase them out of Kabul and out of Raw. That's a bit unfortunate that our vassals are going in deep there. It's a reconquest war, so the battles don't count for too much, but still losing them is a little painful. Should probably tell them to not be so gung-ho, to stick by me. Don't want to lose tolerance to the true faith here, but it's not going to hurt us much. Good old Boris has our back here. Now chase these freaks out of Kabul. Unfortunately for me, they have nomads there, so they're doing a little bit worse. Also gives me a good chance to drive out Multan here. Multan bring more units to the battlefield than they really deserve to. But getting anybody out of this war early on is going to be pretty difficult, since they have fairly high enthusiasm for this war. And Jings, that's Ro about to go down as well. All these jumping face first into mountain battles, not good for my health. But I don't want to be losing any fortifications around here. There we go, Ming claiming our provinces, but me claiming another wipe. So, yeah, I said I wanted to separate piece Jampur out of this, but that's going to be difficult. Perhaps what I should do is go on the aggressive here. Start sieging down their forts and getting them out of this war. Even though it's going to hurt on my everything. But with a touch of luck, the forts won't last very long, and I should make my way towards their capital. I think that's only 3 forts I'll have to take down. So let's look on the bright sides here. Unfortunately, they're going to make their way towards where exactly? Where are they going? Shymkent? I don't understand. Wouldn't be surprised if he's on his way to my capital, and my capital will not hold out for very long. But it's not the only fort I have, so it's not all that I have to worry about. I'd just far rather get these guys out of the picture. Jake, early streams are awesome, just so you know. Well, it'll be going on until Neferi demands that I go and play his Battlestar Galactica game. So I can see this going not very well for me, but that's part of the fun, right? Oh, Jinx, that is part of the fun. Good going, vassals. Chase those scum out of my country. Jinx, outnumbered but never outgunned. I'm very proud of you guys. What I should probably doing is getting a spy network on the go here so I can bring these forts down ever faster. Just a touch faster, not much, but something is something. I've already tapped my manpower pool, so these guys won't be reinforcing, which is a shame. This is also a shame. I'm going to be losing my war score. In fact, I'm going to be losing a lot out of my subject here. But with a touch of luck, I will get Jampur reduced a bit and get them out of the war. Starting to wonder if it is worth pushing as hard as I was planning with Jampur, because just getting them out of the war is starting to appear like the better idea. Yeah, this is about to fall and then the enemy will spill out. A shame for me. Oh Jinx, that's this is going pretty grim. There goes a quarter of my army to disease outbreaks. But it's kind of fun to pick a fight that you really don't think is going to go all that well. because I can just plan and make some pretty clinical maneuvers. But like with when I declared war gung-ho on Shirvan allied to Persia before and then got jumped by Russia, that's part of the fun. Wow, I haven't seen this bad luck on a siege for a long time. So this is going pretty terribly, just because I don't have the numbers to take care of the enemy here. Was that? Okay, that was supply shortage, which doesn't help very much. We've been reduced in the number of cannons we have to such a degree that we're doing even worse on this siege. Anyway, the enemy will come spilling out into my country, which is certainly no good. Picking a fight with India, and India fights back. There we go, that's one down, but I can't quite get to their capital yet. And that's not going to be enough to get these jerks out of the war just yet. Maybe a bit of beating up their troops will help, though. Not quite. It's India, Jake. Disease outbreaks are not that common. Okay, Chagatai have pulled back their troops. Not that they were really a threat. There weren't many of them to begin with. But getting Jampur out of this war would be a big help. I think I'm going to have to let go of my idea of just punching them out nice and quick. Or rather, humiliating them and such. Looking at it, there's a good chance they'll get that province back in their hands before I make any decent moves here. We'll see how it goes, though. Because when it comes to this war, Jampur are providing quite a bit of the punch. Roughly half of it. Okay, water shortage is one of these superior ways to bring down a fort. Reinforcement speed is actually not going to help at all, but I assure you that land maintenance will. Running out of money will not, though. Alright, and another one bites the dust. So we're close to getting you guys out, but not completely. If this province falls, though, that's extremely bad for us. So we're going to have to defend it, even though it is hills once again. Close, but not quite there. But if I spread out and occupied some of this, I think we'd go a lot better. Or I could grab the capital. Could at least give it a shot. Yeah, I think actually getting those additional levies will help us out a wee bit. Even though it's going to hurt manpower recovery speed. And Jings, where did my money go? Ka-ching. Okay, that helped very little. I had money once, I remember those days. Okay, I think I'm no longer going to tell my vassals to be jumping out and about like that. I will tell them, go for it. And Mazovia wants me to buy some condottieri, but they are charging ludicrous amounts of money, so I must decline. Gotta remember the rules of no taking loans, so I should be a bit more careful with my treasury here. Nice to see them actually getting the disease outbreak now. With a touch of luck, we'll grab the capital before they grab that. Although I could get Jampur out of this war. If I grab their capital, I should be able to break their alliance with Russia too, so it's a question of how gutsy I want to be. Won't the burghers give you some help on dollary dues? Well, they will actually, so thanks for the money, my burgher friends. This is a fairly disastrous war, but that's kind of part of the fun. And if I can just grab Jampur before they grab Kangra, we'll be in the money. Jake, pull some troops to grab the surrounding land. Aye, I could. Would certainly be the clever thing to do. Well, I can't make every run bad ideas guy run, but... Okay, this is risky. Hopefully on 35 we'll get it. On 35 we do not get it, so do I risk 21 for 56? Well, Jean-Pierre want a white piece with me. But we're not going to go for that. Not quite yet, at least. Would have maybe been nice to bank that suggestion there. So how's it going to go for you? Whew! Didn't roll my cursed die this morning, but I think we'll have this. So, Jean-Pierre, it was nice knowing you. I rather think you will not be allied to Russia any longer. I would quite like some money for all my troubles here. And then I can turn on Sind proper. I'm actually being blocked by this province that they managed to retake, but that's fine. Okay, this isn't so fine though. They're occupying all my fortifications here. That is no doubt going to be doing bad things for my war exhaustion. Not that I had much dip to spare in the first place. But things should get a lot more manageable without Jean-Pierre and everything. I don't want to be fighting into hills here, but we're doing what we're doing. Get out of here. All according to some very elaborate plan. Now I gotta think about Multan here as well, because they have a core. And it certainly does belong to my my march here, and if I grab that, that would block Jean-Pierre's border with me. Or, well, would keep Jean-Pierre away from me. I'm not saying I'm scared of them, I'm just saying they're scary. I'm actually stuck here anyway, so, well, let's just drink up the experience. Surprised Russia hasn't tried to jump me, though. They certainly have the allies for it. I guess it's because the Ottomans have my back. The Ottomans would have my back a bit more if I kept those relations hunky-dory with them. But otherwise, we got this sorted. It was never not sorted. Jake, can you quickly show us your ideas, please? Sure, I took exploration first, just because I needed something to expand into. Defensive, because it's brilliant. Religious, because there's very little other way to share the Tengri ways. And quality, because it's not something I go for often. And I always like to experiment with different ideas. Chings, everybody's claiming my land. But they can't have it. Multan are actually supplying a surprisingly large amount of troops into this. Troops that I would rather not have supplied into this, so I should be able to gun them down without too much bother. Shame about them going for my my fort there. Maybe I'd be better wiping up the units here once I'm done with Ro. I think that's what we'll go for. Let's get some speed 4 on the go. There's no need to hold back here. We'll have it sorted. Hopefully Bukhara can hold out. I'm confident it can. And okay, we're going to be outnumbered here. Doesn't scare Perm in the slightest. Get out of my country. Now, do I give chase or do I keep these scum out of my lands? They are spreading around my lands to an uncomfortable degree. I'll kill them. Kill them all. Getting dangerously close to losing combined arms bonus. But they are getting uncomfortably close to being destroyed. So it's give and take, right? Should probably make that move on Multan, keep them out of my lands. Jake, stop the espionage. Aye, it's not doing me any goods now. Would help me out in Sind and Multan, though. Okay, so we have lost combined arms bonus, which is a risky thing for us. We'll see if they actually attack us, though. Alright, they would get out of this war. And I have no reason to just keep them in, apart from this one province. Do I want this one province? Kind of. I kind of really do. We'll just make our move on it. Because I'm a greedy guy, and there is nothing wrong with being greedy. In fact, I see it as a good trait. Oh, that's good trait. Jake, Russian-Ming relations. Aye, if those two ally, that's going to be a bummer for me, but I'm not sure those two can even see each other. Oh, they can. It's neutral, neutral. No, Sind. You get nothing. Multan are about to get even less. Well, provided they don't occupy any of this before I get Lahore. Speed 4 war, the only way to war. Thanks for the province, Multan. Thanks for the money, Multan. Thanks for the extra money, Multan. That should help us out a wee chunk. Now to take care of the last annoyance. Sind. That's funny because Baluchistan is pretty crap. It's pretty damn crap. Okay, now as I mentioned, we do not have combined arms bonus, but we are now defending in mountains, and our cavalry is pretty good, so even though we're taking extra casualties, we are laying down the pain to our enemy. And we can now chase them down. Really though, I'd like to go for their capital, because that would drive the fear of God into them. That was enjoyable. I like fighting wars where the odds are not too great for me. That really was not too great for me. Perhaps I should just ditch the cavalry here and spend some time taking land. Nah, it's too risky. They still have an army to throw at me. Jake, ever played Wallachia? They start in a pretty shizzy situation. I don't disagree with that, they certainly do, but I've already played as... I can't even remember who I got Dracula's Curse with. It was quite some time ago and it wasn't streamed. I think I went Wallachia though. I wonder if they're going to be able to hold out in Kabul there. Jinx, have I had two lazy, or rather one lazy colonist for quite a while? Most likely, but at least I have that province with Ming now. Or at least that provincial border now. There we go, a bit more of a push and everything is fine and dandy. We can actually now comfortably ditch those guys, since the Sind army is getting ravaged. Just occupy a few provinces here and there to show them that we mean business. Jings, this whole having no units is not so good. I normally take quantity in just about every game I play, and that's the reason why I stopped taking it. It became too predictable, I guess. That's the way to put it. Alright, we have too much. Let's actually invest in some super ideas here, because the Ender with artillery combat ability and discipline is just too good for words, and I want it. So the net gain in all this war is actually minimal. Really minimal. But it's fun. And as I always say, if I wasn't having fun, I wouldn't be playing, wouldn't be streaming. I always play for me. That said though, I think they just destroyed Novgorod's armies. Hope Novgorod still have those cores, mind. They've lost a few, and they might just lose a few more if I don't act quickly enough. They got time, it seems. It's still going to be the reconquest of Novgorodian cores that tears Russia to pieces. And Teutonic Order are still out of this, but probably not for too much longer. And they have Tech 15, I can't really rely on having far superior units. Alright, so how are we looking on the whole taking those cores back malarkey? Since that's what we're here to do. I'm not here to take any land for myself, so as long as I get the cores back from my beloved Baluchistan, we'll be good. I mean, this, for example, should go to you. It's expensive. It is very expensive. So we're going to have to push them the whole way. I mean, that's something I can do. Poor Multan watching their ally get destroyed. But it's funny the way the world goes. Jake, next war, take Moscow for you and some Novgorodian cores. Yeah, ripping out those... Ooh, cotton imports, you say? I mean, I don't want to lose to mercantilism, but I'm not about to lose all those in Indus. I'm not going to restrict free trade. Not when I can get cotton to be worthwhile. Even though wool is probably making up a whole load of my economy. There we go, we just about have everything we need. They barely have an army. I'm about to turn that into not have an army at all. Even if I'm attacking into mountains, my 5 shock backed up with artillery will have these guys crying. Dr. Nitro's asking, how's it going this fine Saturday? All is well so far. Disastrous fight with the Indians, but you can't worry about the small stuff. In fact, at this rate, I suspect they're about to not have an army as I chase them down to wherever they go. Yeah, where are they going? Oh, is that it? Probably should have, yep, that's handy. I was thinking probably should have let them go into these flat lands where I can destroy them. And yeah, they were thinking on my behalf there. So many people spy networking me though. What have I done to them? We're getting the accursed call for peace even though we don't have the war score we need to take what we want. But I can still chase these guys down and put them to sword. Even though I'm taking a disastrous toll on my manpower here. Really what I should probably be doing is spreading out and taking these provinces. What remains of their army is not about to make a big decider here. And after this, my country is going to have to recover. Because I put it through the meat grinder. I really did. I did terrible things to my country. But it was either that or fighting Russia. And with this, Russia should actually have gained a good chunk of power. Which hopefully they can use against me. Might sound strange to say hopefully for such a thing, but I always like a good fight. So just to be sure, that's all the Baluchistani cores. I'm wondering if there's anything I should grab along the way. I mean, a bit more money never goes amiss. But I do want you to grab a bit more Persian land. So perhaps grabbing this gateway here would be the way to go. Seems they're not quite ready to give that up, which is strange. Do they not understand the situation they are in? Potentially not. I'm being asked if I'm going to celebrate Valborg today. I have no intentions to. I guess I'll give these 2 provinces to them. It's a bit more aggressive expansion, but what you gonna do? Hold on, this one needs to go to Baluchistan. And there we have it. Expensive war, but damn does Baluchistan look good. Hopefully they don't start thinking they're more powerful than me, but they are a march. They should start seeing things, or rather they should see the righteousness of my rule, basically. Ah, okay. Peasant revolts almost immediately inside Baluchistan. I'm going to have to take care of those. Something rotten. Oh well. There's no sitting like babysitting. It's kind of nice because it also gave me a whole bunch of time to do conversions. Okay, how are we going to do this then? Peasants are fairly easy prey, so I'll just slaughter them. Even though my units are almost non-existent with how busted they are. But it just means my nation needs to recover a touch. Jake, you should totally celebrate best party in the year, it's least in Finland. So are you telling me to stop streaming and go and party? Because that's what I'm hearing. And I seldom have a problem with just stop streaming. This is quite a reflection on how pathetically weak my vassals' troops are, or my march's troops are. It was kind of funny in a way. We'll have our units split up, get back home, and essentially speed 5 our way to nation recovery. Because, yeah, I'll be honest, I hurt my nation a lot there. They didn't really deserve it, but it's what I gave them. I'm also going to annex my vassal, since Kiev does not need to be on the map at this point. And that gives me that nice buffer between myself and Jean-Pure. Because they're pretty big and strong and scary. I need to start thinking about Russia's enemies and who, if any of them, would consider an alliance with me. Don't think Lubeck will be quite jumping in joy at that idea, but they would be a very strong one to have, since I imagine they have a bone to pick with the Russians. Oh, they don't. Friendly towards them, well that's not good for me. Teutonic Order are now willing to join in any offensive war I go to with Russia, so I'll probably just have to let my country build itself back up, and then we destroy the Russians. It's simple. Jake, you could have vassalized Krakow, but they're doing really strong. Now it'll be a bit harder to take Krakow or Danzig for yourself. Vassalizing Krakow was never really in, or part of the question here. They're part of the HRE. They would give me a lot of aggressive expansion. Plus, there's no real harm to making things harder for myself. It's rather nice in a way. 100 military power, you say? Thank you, I say. Let's have that better artillery and 5% discipline. Because like I said, we don't really do military ideas here, only economics. Bankrupt Multan. Joke nation. Also a bit of a joke, we don't have a individual for conversion rate anymore, and the clergy are not willing to give me one for a few months. What a shame. So our manpower is pathetic, and we're a long way from getting any reasonable amount of it back. That's a little scary. Okay, that's even worse. It's not like I have manpower to lose though, so at least it comes at a reasonable time. So, that Inquisitor that I demand, they need enough influence in my country, I can give that to them. Now where's that Inquisitor that I need? So like I said, everyone around